You don't need money to start a business. You need the right credit profile. But what if I told you your profile doesn't have to be perfect to unlock 50,000, 100,000 or more in business funding? Most entrepreneurs think a few past credit mistakes or a score that isn't 800 plus automatically disqualifies them from serious funding. They get one no from one bank and assume all the doors are closed. Then they decide that the system is rigged, or worse, they turn to predatory lenders like MCAs that crush their cash flow with insane daily and weekly payments. Listen, I've analyzed over 4,000 credit reports and I've helped thousands secure more than $90 million in funding over the last 6 years. Many who did not start with perfect credit. Banks play a specific game. If you understand the rules, you can get them to compete to give you money. That's why in this video, you're gonna learn 3 things. First, the holy trinity of approvals. The 3 non-negotiables your business needs to look fundable and separate from your personal score. Second, the most important financial asset you have outside of your business that makes banks want to fund you. Third, the blueprint to your first $50,000 to $100,000 and a step-by-step plan to go from 0 business credit to your major first funding injection. If you're new to the channel, my name is Colin and I read Rich Dad Poor Dad at just 13 years old and became obsessed with all things credit and finance. I even followed in Robert Kiyosaki's footsteps and enlisted in the Marine Corps when I turned 18, where I witnessed firsthand what his book warned about, that schools do not teach financial education. The Marines to my left and right were defaulting on cars and credit cards, so I got certified in credit repair to help them, and fast forward to today, I run an 8-figure credit repair and funding business, and I make these videos to help you guys do the same. So let's build the foundation. I'm gonna show you how to structure your business so lenders see a credible, fundable entity before they even look at your credit score. Now, here's the biggest mistake that I see: applying for a business credit card as a sole proprietorship or with a poorly set up LLC. That's an automatic denial. You must separate yourself from the business. Try to think of your business as a completely separate person. It needs its own identity to get credit. Lenders want to see a legitimate professional operation, and you're going to want to nail the holy trinity of approvals: entity structure, industry code, and credit health. If you get these right, you've won 90% of the battle. So here's step 1. You got to lay that legal foundation. You're going to want to have a separate legal entity. For most people, an LLC is the sweet spot. Liability protection, and banks love it. You're going to file this with your Secretary of State. It takes under an hour and a couple $100. You could also get your EIN from IRS for free. That's your business's social security number. You're going to use those 2 things to open a business bank account. Step 2, you optimize your industry classification. Banks categorize risk using NAS codes and SIC codes. Choose the wrong code and you're gonna get denied. Avoid high-risk labels like real estate, investing, trucking, or restaurants. Pick a neutral, fundable code. Residential property managers instead of real estate investor, or even logistics consulting instead of trucking. You're gonna wanna name your LLC something neutral like XYZ Management or ABC Consulting, Ventures, Enterprises, etc. Use a DBA later for your public brand, but keep the legal name boring and bank friendly. Step number 3, you gotta establish your financial footprint. You do this by opening a business bank account using your articles of organization and your EIN letter. And do not commingle funds. Run all business revenue and expenses through this account. You're also gonna wanna get a business phone number. You could use your cell phone number. You could even use Gmail for your email. Just keep it professional. You could also head over to Dun & Bradstreet and get your DUNS number, and now you're on the business credit map. Listen guys, if you've been struggling with bad credit or lack of business funding for years, go ahead, click the link in the pinned comment in the description if you want my team to just take care of it for you. Now your fundable LLC is set up. We want to address the single most important factor for your first major funding round, and that is going to be your personal credit profile. Your personal credit profile is your most valuable financial asset. And don't panic, it doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be strategic, and I'm going to show you how to build it. So here's step 1. You got to know your numbers. Pull your full 3-bureau credit report. I like to use IdentityIQ or the official government websites, not just some free app like Credit Karma, and target a 680 or higher. This is going to get you into some decent business credit approvals. If you're below that, focus on repair or paying down your debt and utilization. Step 2, master your utilization. This is worth 30% of your FICO score, and it's the fastest lever that you can pull. Keep both individual and total utilization below 30%, ideally below 9%. Pay your balances down below 9%, and this alone can jump your score anywhere between 20 to 100 points in under about 30 days. Step number 3, you got to solidify your payment history. That's worth 35% of your score. 0 late payments in the last 24 months is the goal. If you have a late, go ahead, try a goodwill letter to get it removed, and be sure to set up autopay, guys, on every single account moving forward. Step number 4, manage those hard inquiries. Inquiries are only 10% of your score, but they really matter to underwriters at the bank. You're going to want to aim for fewer than 3 or 4 in the last 6 months on any particular bureau. Stop random applications for 3 to 6 months, have some discipline before you run your credit stacking sequence. So now that you've got a fundable entity and you've prepared your personal profile, it's time to combine them for the big prize, 50 to 100K in business funding in a single day using Credit Stack. Now here's the secret. Not all banks pull from the same bureau. Chase often pulls from Experian, whereas US Bank often pulls from TransUnion. Bank of America also pulls from TransUnion or sometimes even Experian. But you're going to want to apply in the same week, and each bank will see a fresh credit report before the other inquiries post. This is how you credit stack approvals. And here's the high-level plan that my clients use. Step 1, you got to research your lending targets. Pick 3 to 5 different business cards with 0% interest for 12 months or more, and use data points to see which bureau each bank pulls in your state. You could check databases like credit pulls. Step 2, build your stacking sequence. Rule number 1, you got to apply for inquiry-sensitive banks first, like Chase and US Bank. Then alternate the bureaus. Go ahead and apply with some banks that pull Experian, then TransUnion, then Equifax, and repeat. A sample sequence can look like this. Apply for Chase with Experian, apply for US Bank with TransUnion, and apply for Truist with Equifax, and repeat this process over again. The final step, you got to execute in a tight window, typically around a week or 2. Apply back to back within that same week. Have all of your things ready, your LLC name, EIN, your address, all of your numbers. And for a new business, you might want to use a projection that matches what a industry-related business will typically do in its first year. Now, step number 4, handle reconsideration calls. If you get put into pending or denied, you're going to want to call the reconsideration line. Explain how you're going to use the funding, verify any details, be polite, but be persistent. Your strong setup makes you sound like a real business owner because you are. Now, remember, funding without a plan is just debt, but funding with a plan is capital. And this money is a tool. Now that you know how to get the funding, make that money work for you. You're going to want to watch this next video. I'm going to show you the smartest ways to deploy your new business funding to build lasting wealth.